I hear a lot of people, I'm looking at some of the comments and the conversation, like this looked like the Super Bowl team, they were trash and coaches are trash for real. That's just, it didn't look like the same team for the Super Bowl, for one. Two, we addressed some of the issues that we had. Okay. We couldn't block up front to save nobody's life. Obviously, we know Jawaan Taylor was getting penalties, which that needs to straighten out immediately. So Pat had protection. That's one thing Pat did have. He had some protection. He had some time. He took off running, doing his thing, because that's what Pat's going to do.
Right.
But as far as protecting him, successful, pretty much. There was success there. But
I didn't love our push up front though on runs.
No, me either.
I don't. But that's the thing. The pass pro was good tonight. I agree with JD on that. There was times where Pat had all day back there, and for whatever reason, I want to see all 22. He didn't throw it, so I don't know if the guys were getting covered back there. But the pass pro looked great. Left side looked great. Kingsley, the conversational lawsuits of how's Kingsley and Simmons going to look. They look fine. Honestly, those two on that side, I have less questions about those guys than I do with some of the other guys as far as, getting pushed, as far as getting the run lanes. And there wasn't a lot of stuff to be open. But that was kind of where I was thinking, JD, as far as the O-line looked good tonight, as far as the pass protection. It was the run game. And again, we aren't running the ball enough. We're not running the ball enough outside of Pat to actually, to kind of work on that a little bit. But it didn't seem we were getting enough push up there. Besides Kareem Hunt's 4th and 1 first downs, though. Those are always cake when he goes in there for those.
Even that, he had to kick it outside because that right side, that collapsed. So he had to kick that outside on that. He had to take a little cut on that because that was not – he would have gotten stuffed if he tried going inside on that. But,
yeah, I agree. I think you needed to see a little bit more push, a little bit more of, kind of that grit to run the football, which, for us, I mean, the guys up front are bullies. They are road graders for sure. But sometimes, like I said, man, you get into that mode of just passing the ball that you start sitting back on your heels a lot. And then you got to call some plays, man. It's going to look good for the guys to go out and actually deplete guys. I mean, we seen Creed and Humphrey dribble the ball back to Patrick Mahomes tonight. I mean,
that was,
you know what I'm saying? So, so it didn't look the same as far as that respect. When we're sitting there talking about, the guys that we were, going to rely on wide receiver wise, we ain't got Rashee Rice. Like you said, Xavier Worthy goes out. Jalen Royals didn't play. I mean, we got enough. We got enough. And then imagine those three, all three of those guys get back. It looks different. But I think like I said before, we have enough. But we got to, like you said, we got to be effective running the daggone football. We have to be. And so, I don't know. It's got to be a balance there somewhat on what we do. I get, we're going to do what we do. So we'll get it together.
What did you make of the kind of splits of like between Pacheco and Kareem? Did you like the way they kind of went with the cycling in and out? Because it seemed like second half of the game, I barely even saw Pacheco. It was pretty much all Kareem back there. And I don't know if they want him in there more for the pass protection aspect to have somebody back there with him. But it seemed like they went more to 29 in the end of that game. I think it was the last drive we saw Pacheco in there again. But for pretty much the most part, it was number 29 in there in the third and fourth quarter. What did you make of the kind of rotation between the backs, JD?
I mean, I think too much about it. I mean, shoot, the guy's going and he's running the ball effectively. Yeah, put him in. But if you're saying, Kareem Hunt is probably the better pass protector, yeah, sure, keep him in because that's what we're doing more than anything else, passing the daggone football. So,
yeah.
That's 5 a carry. I mean,
what were his stats of the night, Tej?
I think he ended up with 5 or 25.
Okay,
it's just not enough. That's half of what he was projected in Vegas. I mean, that's not.
And Kareem got more than that. Yeah. As far as his carries, Kareem got more than what he was supposed to get.
Oh, so they got Pacheco got 5, Kareem got 5. So,
yeah, not collectively 10. I mean, that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, Pacheco was projected to get more than that, but one guy. So it's not we're getting blown out. It's just like, I don't know.
Well, also too, in some of those coaches, and it goes into like the penalty calls, because now all of a sudden you get a penalty. Now you back 1st and 20. It's like, oh man, like what are you doing? Holding call, it's which that changes things. Coaches got to turn the page on it to call something else.
Sure.
That does change, how you call a game. And I seen that look on Andy's face, and Andy was pissed. He was pissed. He didn't want to get visible. I seen that look before, like, better straighten your tail up. So, but, hey, man.
So you guys, you mentioned Jawaan Taylor and the penalties. I think, and I'm seeing everyone's obviously upset about the false starts and just where he's on pace for his penalties wise in the season. But I've seen a lot of people make this point. And I think it's a good point. We talked about it, right? Before the last few years, we didn't really have a backup tackle that was waiting in the wings, right? There was that one game they pulled him out and they put Prince in there at the right tackle spot for that one game, just to kind of what was going on with Jawaan, just to kind of fix him in that Bears game a couple years ago. Now you have Jaylon Moore, who all intents and purposes, JD, Jaylon Moore looks solid in preseason at the right tackle spot. He looked good. He's getting paid a little bit more. He's not just some UDFA off the street. Do you think now, with 3 years into the Jawaan Taylor and the continuous of this false starts and his alignment issue. Well, yeah, no more alignment issues, so that's a good thing. It's just more the false starts. Do you think there is plausibility where they do look and say, hey, like, this can't continue? I think I saw Andy say the penalties tonight were inexcusable. We need to fix that up. If you were kind of coaching the offensive line or Jawaan Taylor, I mean, like, how would you go about as far as like, hey, you need to clean this up or else we're going to go to the other guy we have behind you? Because, I mean, it's just the false start penalties are just, inexcusable is one word of saying it, but it's just, it's inexcusable. It's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. To do it as much as he has been doing for the last 3 years, that's an issue.
Well, I guess it's the same. The last couple of years, once you get a good talking to, he kind of, straightens up. So maybe this is the one to straighten him up. I don't. Do you put a guy in now? When it's early. Shoot, I don't know. I tell you what. Let me put it this way: he's on a short leash. That's for daggone sure. And we've seen Andy pull him before.
Yeah.
For a guy. So don't think it can't happen. Is it plausible? Sure it is. But he'll give him a chance to fix it. And if it continues, you will absolutely see a change.
And I guess to that, JD, you say he's on a short leash. Before, like, he was pulled for Prince Tagawa, and I totally butchered his last name, but who looked pretty solid too when he did come in. Then he got hurt, but they pulled him for a guy who wasn't making anything. Now you have a guy back there who is making a good chunk of change, and it's like, okay, well, you know what? Like, now we actually have a guy we'll trust to go to full time. If you're going to keep this up, kind of thing. I think that also plays a part in it too, for the fact that you're paying a dude good money who's sitting right behind you too. That also puts that added pressure as well, right?
Yeah, and he played well in preseason. Sure, but you're making more money than he is. So what? So what do you? Okay, I'm gonna use my money. This guy right here is getting paid more money than the guy that we brought in, who was actually supposed to be our left tackle. But sure, I'm sure there is a thought, there's a conversation, but I'm sure he got onto the sideline, and I'm sure Andy Heck got in it, let him know, like, yeah, that's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. So.
Teja, where do you stand on the whole? What were your kind of thoughts just seeing the Jawaan Taylor 4 penalties tonight? Team as a whole had 19. He had 4 tonight.
My initial thought was one more year with him,
or 19 last year.
Just one more year. So he's not going to be here next year. Just put up with it and just try to keep it under control for one more year, and he can help us. I just can't believe he can't get this right by now. It's crazy to me. It's such like a rookie. It's like a rookie thing to have like happen to you this much. I can't believe he hasn't adjusted this. And like I'm not a player. I'm not a former player, but like it's procedural. Like it's like you're not doing something correctly before a snap or when the ball snapped. It's not like it's mind-boggling to me. It's really frustrating actually because it's like, and that's why Kelce was furious. It's like, dude, like, what are you doing? I mean, like, what else? I'm sure he said something way worse to him than that, but yeah, man, it's really frustrating to be a fan seeing that.
Yeah, I will say, seeing Kelce get mad at him like that, I don't think we even saw another false start after that. Maybe that'd been the last one that he had after Kelce reamed into him like that.
Was that the fourth quarter though?
I think third or fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Josh Simmons had a false start, right? And I think I saw someone online was like, "Oh, Simmons too." It's like, okay, Josh Simmons is playing his first NFL game, his first regular season game. I'll give him a few false starts here and there. He's a rookie for crying out loud. It's his first game, and it happened once to him tonight. That was it.
If Simmons is doing this like week 15, I'll be a little more upset. We're talking about a veteran on his second big contract. Like, no, I mean the time for that is done. That's gone. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's not like he's being beat and he's like holding somebody to prevent a sack or something. I think they're false starts. I mean, like, it's a lapse of concentration or judgment. I don't know.
Yeah,
it is. It's lack of concentration and focus. Because you know what the snap count is. The thing is, you just got to lock in and just know. Those are almost like one of the things that is a lack of focus. Is that, and it's like, look, playing tight end, you're out there on the edge, trying to listen. It could be loud. I don't know what what it's like in that stadium. I'm sure it's not worse than any other place, but shoot, that shouldn't happen. That many in one night is like, it is crazy. That is ridiculous. It is. Seriously, it's just no excuse for that whatsoever. So I'm just going to keep it 100. What does that mean going forward is the question. We don't know. So we'll just have to find out.
Do you think it's something that can get into his head and he can overthink it now? Like, I mean,
shoot, if anything, I would be late coming off the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get beat after that. You're coming off late. You're right. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to hold Trey's hand. Let's hold hands and then let's go off the snap count. Shoot. But I'm sure on the sideline, they, the same thing. Like, look, watch 74, watch Taylor. He's always jumping off sides and whatnot. Because I heard a lot of people talking about, the same thing with the Eagles and they tackles jumping off. They ain't called them. They've been doing it and they just fine. But we're gonna get called. Hey man, this it's part of ball.
Hi everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.